and happy first day of Vlogmas. I am so excited to be doing Vlogmas this year. I've been planning extensively to make this happen, so super excited. And today we are gonna get right into looking for inspiration for decorating our home and really inviting the cozy Christmas season into where we live. I have been on Pinterest, like looking for the style I really wanted to decorate in for months now. I would say probably since June or July, I've been like pinning things regularly and really honing in on what my style is. And every time I'm at a thrift store, I always check out the Christmas section just to see if they have anything good. And I have been collecting a lot of really great things this year. And so I'm super excited to show you all of the things that we've collected so far, either from previous years or thrifting earlier this year. I'll show you all of that a little bit later in the video. So today I really just want to get to honing in on what my style is, kind of making a mood board of that to get more inspiration from, going through what we already have, and then hopefully tomorrow I can kind of list out specifically the things that I found reoccurring in my pictures from today, and then like go on a hunt for those specific items. Let's go ahead and hop on Pinterest. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm seeing a lot of ornaments. I started finding like a few of these kind of hand painted ornaments and pinning them because they're so beautiful, and so then it just started suggesting like a ton of them, but they were all so beautiful, so they're really hard to not pin. I definitely, if you scroll down to like the bottom of my board, you'll see it's a lot more cottagey, a lot more moody, but at the top of the board, what you saw first is so much more like vibrant and colorful and looks a lot more like springtime, honestly. And I love both of those equally, honestly. I think that the cottage moody vibe makes me feel so cozy and just very nostalgic Christmas for me. But the kind of bright, shiny, sparkly, colorful, you know, those aren't really traditional Christmassy feelings, but they, I feel like, are just so joyful. And I think what really started that whole track was, well, for one, I was pinning a lot of like Victorian things. And so I would pin things that had like ornate gold frames, and then they would tie it with like pearls and pink ribbons and stuff. And then, and like, I was like, oh, pink, you know, that's not that normal. And then there was this one woman on the stairwell. It was like a stairwell. Well, okay, well, there was the tree with the pink bows and the pearls. But then there was like this one woman on the stairwell. Again, pink bows, pearls, but it was an ornate gold frame, a vintage picture. And I just really liked that. And then I started getting lots of like ornaments that like were brightly colored and stuff. And I was like, well, that's still pretty. And then from there, it just kind of exploded. Yeah, like all the brightly colored hand painted ornaments. It showed me this tree with just colorful ribbons and tons of tinsel. And I loved that abundant Victorian look, but I didn't necessarily like love it for how colorful it was at first. I think I like that. It's just a little hint of it. Like, I like the dainty femininity of it, but I don't need my whole house to look like that. So I think the trick is going to be kind of balancing those two styles. I would say from like looking at this, and I did a little research, just like it will show you what words to look up to continue finding this style. I think I definitely have, I mean, so even like the brightly colored things, they remind me of the movie Emma from 2020 with Anya Taylor-Joy. If you've seen that, it's really good. But like everything is so like brightly colorful and pastel. That whole Regency era I think it's just like two sides, two interpretations of it, two sides of the same coin. And I want to find a balance of those, but still make it Victorian, still make it Regency, but also folk, you know, a little bit. Not fully one way, not fully the other way. I definitely want velvet ribbons and deep colors, and I do want it to be colorful, but I think I'm definitely going to tend towards like this picture here of the wrapping paper. It's like this beautiful ornate floral wrapping paper with these gorgeous velvet bows, and like I think, you know, there's a lot of color in this picture, but it's so muted and, you know, so deep and rich, and I think that's definitely the way I want to go. So, you know, I'm looking for kind of like blueberry blues, kind of like a mauve dusty pink. That emerald green for sure is in there. A little bit of burnt orange. I could definitely mix in the pink and the sage. That baby blue is popping up a ton in here. The chocolate brown, the creams. I don't do a ton of red, but sprinkled throughout a little bit of that cranberry red, or kind of like a more muted, like a brick, like dusty brick red color. Those are all things I'm down for. Yeah, I don't do like the pastel red, or the pastel, like the primary red, super bright very often, but it's Christmas. I just have honestly kind of like an aversion to red. I've never liked red. It's always been one of my least favorite colors. As long as you don't look in the room and see red, like I'm not that upset about it. You know, as long as it's just kind of like there, it's complementing, that's fine. I don't hate it so much I can't have it in my house. I just definitely don't want it to be the primary focus. So let's go ahead and see what we have. And I think I'm gonna try to actually separate my decorations from like that, like Victorian bright pastel, and then try to categorize some things more in like the cottage, warm, moody, and just separate out and see how much I have of each. That way I can assess what I should be looking for as we go shopping. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull everything out, and then I'll show you what we have so far. So before I show you all the things that we already have collected, I really want to just go through and get my mind wrapped around what is going to embody these two separate styles. And ideally, I'm going to try to combine them together to make one kind of like ultimate version of my style. But I also think I would really just like to get a vibe of what they are. And so I mentioned earlier that I was going to make a mood board, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that really quickly. So here I've just picked out some of the pictures that I feel like really embody the like warm, cottagey feels. A lot of these pictures have a lot of organic feelings to them. They have a lot of greenery. They have, I don't know, just like wooden aspects, like things that are more natural, things from nature. Like I just think it really kind of embodies that Christmas time feeling. And, you know, yeah, there's a lot of light, there's a lot of fire and candles and things like that. And that's really what I'm going for in this style. Handcrafted elements. Oh my gosh. There's like these needlepoint stockings and a needlepoint pillow. I want those so bad. My husband has a needlepoint stocking, but I really want to incorporate more of that, just like handmade. I just think it's so cozy. So that is definitely a reoccurring theme in here, but you'll see like the color palette is really coming together. We have like the chocolate brown and the blueberry and the cranberry and all that. Right now, I'm not really arranging these in any type of specific way other than just trying to almost like size them accordingly to how well I feel like they fit what I'm going for. So I'm just gonna kind of place all of these pictures around, really just try to get a vibe. And I feel like this mood board will be particularly helpful for one, when I go shopping tomorrow, I think it'll be really helpful to be able to refer back to this. Does this fit what I'm looking for? Or, oh, I need to go to this section and look for ribbon, or, you know, whatever it may be. But I think it also is going to be really helpful when I actually start decorating, because I can see, like in both actually mood boards, you'll see such a layered effect. Like everything is very layered. There's not just like one garland wrapped around the banister or hanging from the mantle. It's like 4 garlands stacked on top of each other, and just kind of like that very abundant look. The Christmas tree in the other mood board that I showed you guys earlier, it literally looks like if you squeeze one more thing on there, it would explode. So that, you know, I want to keep that in mind, like as I'm looking for ornaments, and while I'm decorating with my ornaments, really just knowing that I can jam pack the stuff in there. But it also really helps because it just gives me a direction of where to go. As I'm compiling my list tomorrow, I definitely want to include some teacups so that I can do that teacup DIY with the little pine in the bottom, and it has like a candle and stuff. I would love to find that. I definitely need to look for some taper candle holders, anything handmade. I need to look for some really pretty wrapping paper for sure. Pillows. Oh, a cool nutcracker guy like you see in the bottom would be great. Yeah, some frames, things like that. So I'm just going to kind of look at this, study this, see what is giving me those vibes and those feelings, and just try to go from there and pick up what I love to help me create this awesome, epic Christmas vibe we're gonna really attempt to go for this year. All right, so this is kind of like what we have. I have kind of the more like colorful Victorian vibe here, and then more of like the moody cottage here, which I obviously have a lot more of. And honestly, a lot of these are just kind of ornaments. So if I found an ornament that I really felt fit the vibe, I pulled it out. But I still have a ton of stuff in here. Just, you know, things that are a little bit more either outside decorations or Rosie's room decorations. I have a lot of lights. Obviously, I didn't pull all that out. We have a box of her books here. They're just kind of their own entity, although we do leave them out. So they are sort of decorations. I have this kind of sparkly tablecloth. I have some pretty colorful ornaments. This one we got on a trip this year, and it was actually, I'm pretty sure it was made in Holland. What does it say? Handcrafted Delft blue. Well, I'm pretty sure it was like at a store where pretty much everything was made in Holland. And then this handmade ornament. I have a lot of handmade or like customized ornaments. I picked these up this year. I think they're so pretty. Lots of pearls. My Nana painted this for me. Got a little record, which I just kind of use as decor. I don't even have a record player. And then over here, a couple more records. This one is of New York, which I love because we actually went to New York a couple Christmases ago. And then I just think that one's cute. I have a lot of black ornaments. Some are glossy and some are matte, which I think is cool. I have this garland I made last year. Adam has a handmade needlepoint stocking, which is beautiful. This buff Santa, which I found a couple months ago, and I love. I'm literally obsessed with him. This pretty handmade quilt by Adam's grandma. We found this at the thrift store a couple years ago. We have a lot of wooden and like felt stocking or ornaments, which I feel like really fit the vibe. This sled that my papa made for me when I was a child, and my Nana painted. Books. These bowls. I think this is so cool. I bought this one a couple weeks ago at the thrift store. We bought it from a Volunteers of America. They write their prices on. And I was just like, yeah, that's really, cool and whatever. And then today I was like, what is this? Where did this come from? This is from an Ohio thrift. So it's like a different, thrift store all together. I don't even remember getting this, but they kind of complement each other. Like, they're definitely, I don't know, like they could be a set almost. But I do think this one was actually handmade and hand painted, so I think that's cool. I got a lot of velvet ribbon. Well, this one's not velvet, but it's like vintagey, which is cool. I got red velvet and this like light blue velvet. I have a couple other quilts I'm definitely gonna pull out. We're gonna have like a whole blanket ladder moment. So this tree skirt we have, which I'm really contemplating, we've put it this way for the past few years, white with, you know, gold speckle. It gets covered up by presents pretty quickly anyway. But I was honestly thinking, like, what a moment in this direction if I left it this silky gold. I don't know. I feel like that could be pretty epic. I'll definitely have to play around with it because it's a pretty big statement against this vibe. But, like, we don't have that much of this. And like I said, a lot of it is ornaments. So it's going to kind of disappear in with a lot of these ornaments. I don't know. I have to contemplate this. We'll see how everything's going before I do this. And then I have a few pieces here that I wanted to DIY. I have a lot of ideas for DIYs. We love to go Christmas shopping after the Christmas season. And I just noticed this has like a velvet ribbon. I like that. But yeah, and we get stuff like way discounted. So this was one of those pieces, but it has a big scratch on it. So I was thinking I would just paint it like a matte black color. So I need to do that. And then I've been seeing a lot of tutorials for making glass pieces amber, which I like. This was gifted to me. It just has a snowman. You can't hardly see it, which is part of the reason why I want to make it amber, so you can actually see. But I did really like this piece, and I like it for what it is, but I don't know. I feel like it just being plain glass kind of takes away from it. Like, you're not going to really see it. So I'm thinking I might want to make it amber. It's really heavy and it's really pretty, so I don't want to mess it up. So I'm scared. And then I have some DIY. These are just some ornaments that we bought when we first got married. I don't really like ornaments like this. I mean, I like my black ones for sure, but like, I don't know. To me, they look very impersonal. They don't look curated. I like a very eclectic vibe in my Christmas. I don't like it to be super put together. And I like all my ornaments to kind of like tell a story, whether it's just like complementing the aesthetic that I'm trying to create, or we like to buy them on trips and stuff like that. But we really just needed stuff to fill out our tree our first year, so we bought these. So I have a few ideas of like how to make them look like they're made out of like concrete or something, or like stone. Or I also have some ideas of how to like cover them with maybe some velvet fabric or something. So I might try to use these. They're kind of small though, so I might I definitely am going to try to find some bigger ones that are like from a thrift store that really aren't going to be used otherwise. And then over here I just have like little crafty stuff that mostly Rosie has made, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these. Like, yeah, I mean, those are her footprints, but like she didn't make this, obviously. Like, Adam basically made this for her, but like she made it. And then we're having a Christmas party later this month that we're hosting for some kids. And a lot of this is just either old stuff that we don't want anymore, or it's like decorations we bought on sale last year for super cheap. So that's what we have. Honestly, I'm feeling pretty good. I really like what we've been curating so far. I think the trick is going to be tying it together and making it look really abundant and like the vibe, the coziness that I want it to be. So I also have a ton of brass candle holders, so that is definitely going to help with the cozy vibe, but I need some actual taper candles. So that'll be the first thing on our list, is finding some taper candle holders. I'll have to like go back to the Pinterest board, kind of brainstorm a little bit, see what we have, see what we need. So basically for the rest of the day, I'm just going to, I have to go grocery shopping, and I'm gonna go ahead and like go through just the rest of our Christmas decorations and either get rid of or like repurpose things. I need to look through like every single ornament we have, because we're trying to take some stuff, like I said, to the the Christmas party that we're hosting for the kids in our youth group. And we kind of want to just like keep a box of decorations there in my husband's office. I need to just kind of like go through that. So I'm just going to do that off camera. And then I have to go like grocery shopping and kind of boring stuff. So I will probably just wrap up the vlog here. We are going to try to watch at least 20 Christmas movies this year. We'll see if we can get to it. We always try to make this goal to watch like 20 or 25 and we never actually end up doing it. So we are definitely going to try. So I'll have to, maybe we'll start that tomorrow. It's not December 1st yet. So maybe we'll start that tomorrow. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I'm really looking forward to Vlogmas this year. Hopefully you guys are able to follow along and I will see you guys tomorrow for another video.